In a move to strengthen the cultural ties between India and the US has agreed to return 3 important bronze sculptures to the Government of India. Hello students, welcome to Drishti IAS. My name is Saloni Nandkyoliar, and in this session we'll talk about those 3 sculptures in detail. We'll understand which time period did they belong to and what was their cultural significance. So let's get started. The Smithsonian's National Museum of Asian Art, which is in the United States, has announced that it is going to return 3 important sculptures. First, one of Nataraja, second of Somaskanda, and third of Saint Sundarar with Paravai to the Government of India. Now please note there might be other pronunciations also for these names, but we need to understand that these are the 3 sculptures that are right now placed in the Museum of the US, but the announcement has been made that they're going to be returned to the Government of India. Now why are they being returned? They are being returned because they were illegally placed in that museum. So how did they reach that museum in the first place? They reached that museum because maybe they were sold using false documentation, or they were smuggled into that territory using fraudulent activities. So it has been made clear upon extensive research, study of documentation, verification, etc. It has been made clear that these idols, these sculptures, they belong to the Government of India and they should be rightfully placed in India itself because they were illegally placed in the Museum of the US. So this is a great win for the Government of India also, because our cultural diplomacy has won over here. We were able to prove our point. Using the documentation, research, verification, etc. that these belong to us and they were not to be sold, or they were not to be placed into the Museum of the United States. And the US has also agreed to the claim of India, and that's why it is returning these idols, returning these sculptures to India. So we'll understand the significance, the cultural significance of all these sculptures in detail. Now before we do that, very quickly I'll tell you that there is this foundation course for you, which is the Studio GS Foundation live online course. In this course, you're getting a complete coverage of your UPSC prelims and main syllabus at a very affordable price of only rupees 24,999. And if you wish to avail a further discount on this fee, then you can use a coupon code, and the coupon code is SALONI, Saloni, all in capital letters only, and you will be able to get the maximum benefit for yourself. So don't wait, admissions are already open. It is available in 3 different mediums: English, Hindi and Hinglish. And if you have any further queries about this course, then please call us at 87501, 87501, and you can also download the Drishti Learning app and enroll into this course. Now let's talk about the cultural significance of these 3 sculptures. So the first sculpture is of Nataraja. It's a Nataraja idol and it belongs to the Chola period from the 10th century. Chola period we know was from 9th to 13th century, somewhere between 9th to 13th century. Capital Thanjavur. And this is a sculpture which belongs to the 10th century. It's a bronze statue. Second is of Somaskanda from the 12th century. Again, the Chola period. Now Somaskanda is basically Shiv, Parvati and their son Murugan. So this was also an idol which is right now placed in the Museum of the US. And third, we have Saint Sundarar with his wife Paravai from the Vijayanagar period of 16th century. This is not Chola period, this is Vijayanagar period. Vijayanagar Empire we know was formed in 1336 by 2 brothers, Harihara and Bukkaraya I. There were 4 dynasties in the Vijayanagar period, and this belongs to the 16th century. Vijayanagar period was somewhere from 14th to 17th century. Now if we talk about Saint Sundarar, so Saint Sundarar was a Nayanar. Who were Nayanars? Nayanars were a group of 63 Tamil Shaivite saints. So he was a saint from Tamil Nadu who worshipped Lord Shiva, and in this idol he is being placed along with his wife Paravai. So it's kind of a depiction of a message that you don't really need to renounce your household duties in order to worship a deity. So he was a Nayanar, and in this sculpture he is being shown along with his wife. If you look at the 3 sculptures over here, Then this is Nataraj, this is Somaskanda, and this is Saint Sundarar with his wife. Now notice Somaskanda over here. Right now we do not see Murugan in this sculpture, which does not mean that it did not originally exist. It might have existed and then it might have been destroyed or stolen, etc. Or it might also have existed independently and then placed along with Shiva and Parvati. We don't know at the moment. But this is the sculpture of Somaskanda, which is Shiv, Parvati and their son Murugan. Nataraj and Saint Sundarar along with his wife. Now all these sculptures are very important for us because they were constructed using the famous lost wax technique. These are bronze sculptures which have been created using the famous lost wax technique, and now they are coming back to India because originally also they were meant to be placed in the temples itself. They were meant to be worshipped as deities. They were not meant to be placed in royal palaces or museums. They were meant to be placed in the temples, and they were placed in the temples from where they were stolen and then smuggled into a different territory. So these three are coming to India, but there's a catch. Nataraj over here is going to be placed on a long-term loan in the Smithsonian Museum itself, which means that it is not erratically going to be removed from the museum. It will stay in the museum, it will still be displayed in the museum, but as a property of the government of India. So legally it is belonging to the government of India. It has been made clear that it will belong to the government of India. It will be displayed as a property of the government of India only, as a long-term loan to that museum. And the other two sculptures are going to come back to India. And then if we are able to trace them back to their original temples, they might be placed in the original temples, or then they might also be displayed in the museums of India. So we don't know what's going to happen at the moment. But for now, it's a great achievement for us that we have at least been able to establish our claim that these sculptures belong to India and they should rightfully stay in the country itself. So that was all for this video. I hope you enjoyed the discussion. If you did, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the Drishti IAS English channel. Now let's look at a practice question for prelims. The Smithsonian Institution recently announced the return of certain ancient bronzes to India. Which of the following statements is or are correct? 1. The bronzes include a Chola period Shiv Nataraja, a Somaskanda and Saint Sundarar with Paravai. 2. All Chola bronzes were originally created for display in royal palaces and not temples. Select the correct answer. A. 1 only, B. 2 only, C. both 1 and 2, or D. neither 1 nor 2. Please provide your answers in the comment section and we will meet in a new video. Thank you for watching.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.